Yesterday we looked at Haggai chapter 1 and verses 2 through 7, and we started a new series called Consider Your Ways. And today we're going to take that concept and apply it to some of our emotional needs and some of our emotional burdens that we pick up that we don't necessarily need to pick up. We will be in Matthew chapter 6, beginning in verse 31 through verse 34. Matthew 6, 31 through 34. Jesus says, "Do not be anxious then, saying, 'What shall we eat? Or what shall we drink? Or what shall we clothe ourselves?' For all these things the Gentiles eagerly seek. For your heavenly Father knows that you need all these things. But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added to you. Therefore do not be anxious for tomorrow will care for itself. Each day has enough trouble on its own." When this pandemic first started, I was listening to President Trump's and Governor Hutchinson's, their press conferences every single day, and I was worrying myself sick. How many cases had it today? How many people had it today? How many people are in the hospital today? How many people died today? And I was worried and worried and worried and worried and worried. And you know what helped? I turned the TV off. Put the phone down. Okay, I put the phone down. And while it is bad and while it is dangerous, it wasn't good for my mental and emotional health. And it made me realize how many things do we pick up every single day that we don't need, that cause us stress and anxiety and cause us to worry and cause us to exhaust ourselves. In this passage, Jesus is saying, don't worry about what you're going to eat. Don't worry if you have anything to drink. Don't worry if you have clothes on your back. And the things we worry about as Americans are so much less than those three items. Food's important. Clothes are important. Drinking water is important. Being hydrated is important. This is important for our physical health. And Jesus is saying, look, don't worry about those daily necessities. How many things in our life do we worry about are not daily necessities? Are things we volunteered for ourselves? Are things that we have chosen for our life that we don't need? Let's consider our ways for a minute. Before we start back into this hustle-bustle society that we were just in before the pandemic, let's consider the items and the things and the events and maybe even the people that we had in our life that are not good for us, that cause us more anxiety than what it's worth. If Jesus said it's not worth worrying about food and water and clothes, do you think it's worth worrying about getting your kids on time to practice? Is it worth worrying about, all the little things in our life? Before you pick it up and put it back in your life, consider it. Pray on it. And think it over. Consider how much anxiety it's putting in your life. May God bless, and I hope you have a wonderful day.